Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. With this video going live, bracket submissions for the Greatest Boxer Tournament in Title Bout 2 are now closed. Later today we'll shoot a video detailing everyone's brackets, but that's for later. For now, game number 9 on my Tac Up Wargaming list is bringing us up to a frontier we have yet to visit on the list, but a visit I'm very much looking forward to. Space. We're going to play Space Empires 4X from GMT Games. In this game, we're building up our space fleet with the goal of destroying 3 doomsday machines that get stronger as they spawn before they take out our home planet. In the normal multiplayer game, your goal will be a game of last man standing. We'll be doing this with a focus on our resources as we try to build up our resources and build the ships we need to take out the doomsday machines. And I'll show you this production sheet that we'll be using once, but we won't come back to it. I'll mostly do all this off camera. So we've got our space production sheet where you can track the resources you get from each of your colonies, minerals you collect. We're not playing with any of the advanced rules today. We've got maintenance costs. Turn order bid is not a thing in the solo mode. Then what we spend on ships and technology. And we've got technology progression by fleet, or we can manipulate it by ship, by spending whatever the cost is for the level for the individual ship. I tend to do fleet-focused upgrades, but we'll see how that all unfolds. But, like I said, there's a lot to get into, so I'll explain it as we go. Let's take our first look at the board. You're actually supposed to technically put the chits out on the board, but I find it easier to put these cubes out. I believe these are like learning cubes for kids to help them learn math and things like that. But separating them by color, I think everything will pop here a little bit better than just having the chits on the board. So I've got red chits for the home system, and I'll be drawing out of this bag for those. The white chits are for deep space, and those will be coming out of this bag. Hopefully I'll remember that as the playthrough unfolds. To start off, we've got... if I can get it over without dropping it. We've got 3 of these scouts which actually do have attack capability. The letter on there indicates what order they'll fire in combat. Let's see, we've also got 4 shipyards, which will allow us to build ships. I believe it's one hull size point per ship. Let me double check that. Shipyard allows only one may be built at any one colony per economic phase. Oh, these are shipyards. Are automatically upgraded to the highest technology size for free. So whatever we build. Okay, so that is one thing to note, that ships apparently don't come in with the technology pre-focused, or with the technology that they're upgraded to. But I'm not... I thought... Okay. Are upgraded... I thought there was something here about it being one shipyard, about being one hull size per shipyard. I might be wrong though, but... Okay. I'm probably going to be in the rulebook a lot on this one, so... Then we've got a miner out here. That's how we'll gather up our minerals. They'll always have a move size of 1. And we also have, I believe we've also got 3 colony ships that always move 1, but they'll be how we'll colonize our new planets. And we've got our home world of Altair that will give us a colony income of 20 every time we collect colony income. So once again, it's red chits. It'll be red cubes for the home systems, white for deep space. I've also got 5 green D10s around the board. Those indicate where the doomsday machines will come out. So the first one will come out on turn 7 at the start of the economic phase, and we'll walk through all of that. On a roll of 1 to 2, it'll come out here. 3, 4 over here, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10. So that's all those dice represent. My ships can never enter those spaces, but they can go everywhere else. So with that, and then I've got a yellow cube down here. This yellow cube I'm going to use as kind of a battle reminder location. So when we get into battles later in the game, I'll put this yellow cube down on whatever space we're resolving the battle for. That way it's a reminder that I need to place the victor's ships back there. So that's just to help me, it's kind of a quick reference for me to help keep everything straight. So I'll go through the rest of the units as they become relevant, but we're all set to get into this game, so let's drop into my first turn. Just off shot, you probably saw it as we were looking at an overview of the map. There's actually a turn track up on this side of the board as well, where there's a reminder for the economic phase. The way a turn works in Space Empires, like I said, you go through 3 turns and then you have an economic phase. So first we'll have the movement phase, then we'd have combat if we had another player or when we get engaged with the Doomsday Machine. Then there's exploration, so that's where we'll draw from the appropriate bag depending on what color system we move into. Then the economic phase, which will go through in order. So I'll walk you guys through all of that. But right now, I just want to send the scouts out. The shipyards don't move. There's really no sense for the miners to move yet, since we don't have any minerals around that we know about yet. And the colony ships, same reason. I don't think we can't move those into unknown space anyway. So I think we'll just send the 3 scouts out for now. So we'll send Scout 1 over here. It might be a little bit hard to see. Then I'm going to move Scout 2 over here. Scout 3 can move over here. So obviously no combat because we don't have any. I'll try to bring the shipyards in so we're clear on those. Then we'll draw out of the chit bag for Scout 1. So this is a home system chit we're drawing. Try to bring it out flat side out. There we go. So let's see what we find here. Does not want to focus this morning. There we are. So we find a 5 mineral chit. So we can probably send the miner over to grab that right away. That will go back in my cube bag. Then we'll draw for Scout 2, which is down here in cell K6. Flat side out. There we go. What the? Oh, looks like you got something. I get to slip through there. So this one is a nebula, and what'll happen, and the way a nebula works is, I believe it's a roll that'll affect us in combat. Yeah, the defense technology of all units is considered to be 0, but the Doomsday Machines are, I don't think that, actually the Doomsday Machines might be affected by, no, unaffected by system markers, so they won't be affected by the nebula, which doesn't do it, like I said, the nebula doesn't do anything to us right now. And then drawing for Scout 3 up here. Bring that flat side out. So Scout 3 finds a system that still doesn't want to focus. Come on. I don't know what is this camera's problem. There we go. All right, so Scout 3 finds Sheldon. So another planet for us to colonize. That's very welcome. So now we'll move the turn track into turn 2. We'll continue to send the scout out. We'll send scout 1 in this direction. Scout 2 can move here. We'll bring the miner here, pick up the minerals. Colony ship will move over to Sheldon, and we'll send scout 3 to L9. Then I think we'll send the colony ship out. I think we'll get colony ships moving just in case we find planets that we can colonize. So, and that's all known space. So the colony ships are okay moving there, including this one that is going to stop and colonize Sheldon. So, drawing for Scout 1, let's see what we find. Scout 1 finds, come on, there we are. Scout 1 finds Omicron. Cool. And we've got a colony ship moving in that direction already, so this colony ship will stop there and find that, and probably colonize that. Scout 2, which is down here, we'll find. Flat side out, there we go. We'll find asteroids, which I believe also affects us in combat. Yes. Attack technology is considered to be 0. Class of all ships is considered to be E regardless of what's on the counter. Firing orders determined by tactics. Okay, so we can get that cube out. So now we've got asteroids to contend with. And then up at Scout 3, which is over here just to the right, I guess it is, of Sheldon, what we find here. Trying to mix this up a little bit more. So Scout 3 finds Anion, which is a barren world. We wouldn't be able to inhabit this until we develop into terraforming, which actually might not be a completely terrible idea. But, all right, so that brings us into turn 3. We know this colony ship is stopping. This colony ship is going to move to Omicron and plan on stopping as well to colonize. We'll bring this miner home, bringing the minerals home. We'll add that in during the first economic phase. Scout 1 will move over to that's L4. So we can keep exploring. Scout 2 will move over here. The colony ship that's here is going to stay put. And then we're going to bring Scout 3. We're going to bring Scout 3 to K9. I don't want to head into deep space just yet. I'd like to have at least one turn where I don't need to worry about having to redeploy a scout in theory. So, going into our exploration phase, Scout 1 here will find another 5 minerals, so we'll probably need to get a miner headed in that direction. Scout 2, which is down here at, what is that, J7? Yes, that's J7. They will find okay. This thing is still hesitant to focus. There we are. We find another nebula. Delightful. And then Scout 3, which is out here, we'll find. All right, bringing another one out. Flat side down, or flat side up, I should say. Another 5 minerals going to Scout 3. Okay, so that is it for the first 3 turns. Now we go into our first economic phase. So we'll collect colony income of just 20 from our home world. So once again, I'm doing this all off camera. Plus 5 mineral CPs that are miner brought home. We're not using the pipeline rules. So 25. Maintenance cost based on the hull size that we've got total. Right now, only our 3 scouts are impacted by that. So that means we have to pay maintenance cost of 3. Turn order bid is not a thing. So that gives me 22 CP to spend in for upgrades of any kind. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to spend 20 movement, I'm going to spend 20 of that on movement technology. So 2, so 20, remaining CP 2, we didn't make any new buys. So what that means now is my units were only previously able to move 1 space in each phase. So now during the 3rd turn, my scouts... Alright, so I kind of blew through this a little bit. So I did mineral income, pipelines advanced, which I didn't do, which I'm not doing, pay maintenance costs, which is not a thing, bid for player order, I purchased units in tech, I upgraded my movement for 20, then I would place my units if I bought any, but I didn't this time. So now we increase colonies. Basically, a 3 goes to a 5. Basically, the way that works is a 3 will go to a 5, then a 1 will go to a 3, then for our 2 new colonies, which will be on Omicron and Sheldon, those colony ships will both get 1s, as now they're starting to jettison everything that they need to form colonies. So, and then this nebula, this colony ship here is still looking for somewhere to colonize. I may try to bring one of my scouts back to see if it can find somewhere for it to colonize, but that is amusing for our next round, which we're into round 2 now, so we're into turn 1 of round 2. Admittedly, I'm doing some of these things with later game plans in mind. So I think what we'll do here is we'll continue having the scouts work on clearing out the home system tokens first. So I'll bring Scout 1 down to K4. Scout 2 will move over to K7, try to find a planet for this colony ship to land in. Scout 3 will move here. Then we'll send a miner... I think we'll send the miner in this direction to try to get those minerals over to Omicron for next turn. I think that was all 3 scouts, so we'll go ahead and do our exploration. Scout 1 up here in K4 will have its first look. It will find... See if we can make it focus. Jeez. This thing does not seem like it wants to focus. There we go. So Scout 1 finds another 5 minerals, which that miner over here is going to be busy. I might want to think about building a second miner in my next, when it comes time to purchase units. Then Scout 2, which is up here at K7, will find So Scout 2 will find a black hole, which means... Alright, so each ship in the group must be checked individually for survival. So that's Scout 2 finding the black hole, which means we've got to roll, which I believe means... Let's momentarily pause movement. Okay, so yeah, we got to check for survival on that. And the black hole stays on... The black hole stays on the board for the rest of the game. I'll put the dice tower over here, and we have to roll a d10 for survival. On a 1 to 6, the ship survives. On a 7 through 10, it's destroyed. That's a 9, so the Scout is destroyed. That is not what I want to see here. And then the black hole stays, so I do have to be aware of that right by Altair. And Scout 3 will find... That was not a good thing to have come out at all. I do not like the idea of having a... I do not like the idea at all of having a black hole that close. Okay, I think we're bringing that out. We brought that out curd side up, so no help for that there. We find... There we are. Looks like I gotta bring it in. We find Phione for Scout 3. Unfortunately, I would need to have this colony ship take the scenic route to get to it, but I still have 2 turns to see if I can get the... Maybe I can get another planet here for the colony ship to go to, but I definitely do not want it running through the... I definitely don't want it trying to run through that black hole. So for turn 2, Scout 1 will move here, Scout 3 will come down here, and then do I want to commit the colony ship to... Yeah, I think I'll bring the colony ship down here. That way, if at least this space is survivable, I can use that route to get up to Phione. Or if I stay up here, and this turns out to be a planet that I can colonize, I could get the colony ship right there. Then I want to move the miner over to Omicron, so I can start getting at these minerals. Scout 1 will find in exploration. Essen, so the colony ship probably should have stayed there, but hindsight, as they say. As for Scout 3, let's see what it finds. Maybe I'll get away with it here. Five minerals, so I didn't get away with it there. But such is life. Turn 3, the miner will pick up the 5 minerals. Scout 1 will move down to J5. Scout 3 will move out to J9. And the colony ship will move over to J8 with the... If eventual destination, the eventual plan of heading for Fion to colonize there. Then Scout 1 will find Scout 1 finds Cerberus, so we definitely need to get more colony ships as well. Then Scout 3 over here will find Alright, so Scout 3 finds more asteroids. So nothing that we really have to deal with right now. That was turn 3, so now we're into the economic phase. So we've got our home planet of Altair plus 2 colonies that we've started developing. We've got a colony income of 22. We actually had 2 carryover, so 22. We didn't recover any minerals, 24. So we have 24. Let's get the right number, Phoenix. 24 minus a maintenance cost of 2 because we have 2 scouts on the board. Now turn order bid 22. This time we are going to need to spend on ships. So I will have to spend, like I said, I'm kind of blowing through the economic phase. So we don't have any mineral income, we're not playing with pipeline. Paid maintenance, no bid for player order. Purchase units and tech. I believe it's 1 ship per... only 1 shipyard. Okay, so right now I do have to build a couple of ships. So I'll spend 5 to bring out my second miner. I'll spend 6 to bring out another scout, which means I'm spending 11. Plus I'll spend 8 to bring another colony ship out for a total of 19 on ships, which will leave me 3. Got a maintenance increase of 1. So now I'll place my units. Everything will go on Altair. And then we increase colonies. 3s go to 5s. 1s go to 3, which are our 2 colonies on Omicron and Sheldon. And we don't have any colonies to develop just yet. So no worry on that front yet. But that will do it for round 2. I just increased colonies, so now we're into turn 1 of round 3. Having to replace that scout during round 2 set me back, but not too bad. Scout 1 will move to J4 to explore. I'll bring the mineral to Omicron. And that'll give me 5 more during my next economic phase. Actually, that reminds me, I was going to start trying to bag those up a bit. Where am I? Here. So I'm just going to start working on clean up a very little bit as I pull chits out of the bag, but mainly the mineral chits, and I'm able to remove those from the game. I'm going to put those in. I'm going to start bagging those up. But Scout 1 is out here to J4. Scout 2, I think, is going to head for Sheldon for now. Scout 3 is going to head for J10 and continue exploring in space. The colony ship's going to move up to Fion and plan on dumping everything to colonize during the increased colony step of the economic phase. So drawing a home system chit for Scout 1, we find... Oh, before we do that, the colony ship is going to move to L6. It's going to head for... Is it going to head for Essen or Cerberus? I think it's going to head... I think this one is actually going to head for Cerberus. I'll plan on building another colony ship in the next economic phase to grab Essen. So going back to Scout 1's exploration. Scout 1 finds Vortigern. So we've got another planet, which I don't think this colony ship can get to, so no, I think we're gonna have to settle for do we have that one head for Cerberus or for Vortigern? If we can build two colony ships, we can probably get both Cerberus and Essen next turn. And actually, Miner 2, I forgot to move that one as well, but it's too late. We're already starting exploration. I won't move that now. Scout 3 over in... Where's my laser pointer? Back here. So Scout 3 over in J10 we'll find. We're going to have 7 home system chits left in the bag after this. So Scout 3 finds another 5 minerals. All right, we'll definitely need to get the miner going in that direction. So during turn 2, that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to send the miner over to Sheldon. There's no way I want that trying to colonize or trying to go into deep space right now. I'll bring this colony ship down to Essen. It's not going to stop, though. I'll bring Scout 1 out to start scouting deep space, and this miner will pick up that 5 mineral and plan on bringing it back to Omicron during the next turn. Scout 3, I think, will also start exploring deep space. Scout 2 will explore... actually, I think if I'm going to bring Scout 2 over this way, I'll bring Scout 3 down here. Maybe I'll double it back toward some of the home systems, but where's my deep space bag? Because Scout 1 gets to go in for a deep space chit. So that's in the Cthulhu bag. Hopefully we don't draw anything too dangerous. Careful with the light. Alright, so our first deep space chit, which is with a white background. Come on. We find another nebula in deep space. Okay, I guarantee you there's worse things that could have happened. We saw the black hole earlier. There are definitely chits in the bag that will destroy it straight out. Scout 2 isn't doing any scouting right now, but Scout 3 is. Let's see what Scout 3 finds. Scout 3 finds more asteroids, which is not exactly something I wanted to see there. Turn 3 will bring the colony ship down to Cerberus, but again, it's not stopping. It's going for Vortigern. This miner will move up to Omicron and drop off minerals. Scout 1 will continue exploring deep space. Scout 2 will join it in deep space. Scout 3 will come back to the home system, and the miner will move down to Fione. Plan on grabbing these 5 minerals this turn, or next turn. So, Scout 1 in deep space, which brings the Cthulhu bag right back into shot. Alright, so Scout 1 finds a 10 mineral chit. Okay, so we'll probably send the miner Probably send Miner 1 after that next turn. Scout 2 is also in deep space. We'll see what it's doing. Focus. These are small chits, so it's sometimes hard to get the camera to fix on them. That's the danger I was afraid of. So Scout 2 gets destroyed again. That's not great, but at least the danger chit is out of the bag. I'll find a... Okay, there we go. There's a bag for the danger chits as well. Scout 2 is flattened again. Then Scout 3 is exploring a home system. Exploring in the home system. Well, looks like I'm bringing it out unflattened side up, but Scout 3 finds another 5 minerals. Which is not entirely unwelcome because we definitely need mineral income. Speaking of income, we're into colony income now. We've got Altair and two 3-strength colonies. We had 3 carryover. We have 26 from colonies, plus 10 from minerals this turn, for a total of 36, 39. Maintenance of 2, which means we have 37 CP to spend. I believe CP are crystal points, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, with 37 CP to spend, I do need to spend 6 to bring the scout back. Then I'm going to spend 16 for 2 more colony ships. So that's a total of 22 so far. And I'm actually going to do a little bit of tech upgrading as well. So I'm going to spend 10 for a ship size of 2, to bring my ship size up to 2, which means now I can build ships with a... Now I can actually start building some combat ships. Mostly destroyers at this point, but I need a ship size of 2 or more to build. So 22 on ships, 10 on technology, which means I've got a total of 5 CP left. I have 1 maintenance increase. Once again, I'm kind of blowing through the phases here. Purchase units and tech. So now we're placing units. Everything will go to Altair. Then we increase colonies. So our 3s now become 5s, and they flip conveniently over into 5-strength colonies. And then our colony ship at Fione was planning to jettison to start becoming a colony, so now it's got a strength of 1 as well. So that's it for round 3. We've got 5 carry over into round 4. We're heading into round 4 next. We've still got some time before the Doomsday Machines come out, so hopefully we can take advantage of that and start getting our combat strength up a bit more. I'm definitely sending Miner 1 after that 10 mineral chit, but it's going to take me a couple rounds to get to it. Scout 1 is going to continue exploring deep space. Scout 3 is going to head for deep space as well. Scout 2 is going to move towards Sheldon. Our 2 colony ships are going to move here to L6. And then this colony ship is going to move to Vortigern, where it's actually going to stop and plan on colonizing when we get into the increased colonies phase. So, Scout 1 out in deep space, we find. Okay. Scout 1 finds Gath, which is another barren world. Maybe a temptation to try to develop into terraforming a little bit just so we can start colonizing some of these worlds, but getting a little bit ahead of myself there. Scout 3 also needs to go into the deep space bag. Okay, that's the side I want it to come out. Like I said, I'm trying to make these come out flat side up. So let's see what Scout 3 finds in deep space. Another danger shit. Not what I wanted to see there. Scout 3 goes there. Right, so turn 2, colony ships are going to start moving. These 2 colony ships are going to move down to Essen. One is going to stop, the other's heading for Cerberus. Miner 1 is going to pick up this 10 chit mineral, or this 10 mineral chit. Scout 1 is going to continue exploring deep space. Scout 2 is going to head for Anion. So right now we've got Scout 1 only doing any kind of exploration. Wait, before we start exploration, I almost forgot Miner 2 is going to move over here and pick up that 5 mineral chit. So now Scout 1 exploring, we find didn't mean to jar the camera there. Another nebula. So as much as we're finding innocuous stuff, we're finding some pretty dangerous stuff as well. Turn 3, Miner 1 will head for Omicron with the 10 mineral chit. Scout 1 will go to J3. Scout 2 will continue to head for deep space. Miner 2 will bring 5 minerals back to Fione. And I think that's everything. So Scout 1 is in deep space right now. Actually, colony ship 1 of them moves to Cerberus. So Scout 1 still in deep space. It will find more asteroids. We're finding a lot of those in deep space this game. Scout 2 isn't exploring anything, so let's see, I don't think there's anything else to explore, so that brings us into the economic phase. So we collect our colony income, which we've got 2 fully developed colonies right now, in addition to our home world. So Altair is worth 20. I'm holding the laser pointer the wrong way. Altair is worth 20. Omicron and Sheldon are both fully developed at 5, so those 30 plus 1 for Fione, which became a colony last turn, so a total of 31 from colonies, plus 5 from minerals, brings me to a total of 41, minus I have 2 scouts on the board. That's all that's playing with my maintenance costs, so 39 to buy with. Once again, I need to spend another 6 to bring my Scout 2 back out. And so far, right now, I actually don't have anything in immediate proximity that I need to colonize. So there actually might be a temptation to start doing some more combat-focused upgrades. I could probably plan on using this scout to work on some of the home system chits. Let me think what I want to do here. So yeah, we need to, so 6. I said 6 on ships. Then I'm going to spend 20 for attack, just to make it a little bit easier to attack. So 26, and I will bring out So I have 13 left. I'm going to spend 9 of that to bring out my first destroyer as well. So we haven't talked much about the chits themselves. The X1 is the hull size, 4 is what they hit on, D is the order that they attack in combat, and the 0 is their innate defense value. So that's another 9, which brings me up to 15 on ships. So 15 for ships, 39, that's remaining 4. I made maintenance increases of 2. And then those will get placed both on Altair. Then we'll increase colonies. Our 2 5s don't do anything. That flips into a 3. And then we have 3 1s over on this side of the board. So Vortigern becomes a colony. Cerberus becomes a colony. And Essen becomes a colony, which is great for us which will be great for us in the next round. Round 5 now, and hopefully, carry over 4, hopefully we can actually start to develop some of our fleet a little bit more, but let's see what we get up to. Right, starting off round 5, we have 2 more rounds before the Doomsday Machines start coming. So I'd like to start building up a little bit more of my combat fleet before then. This first miner will bring the 10 minerals over to Omicron. Scout 3 will continue exploring in deep space. Scout 2 will join it. Scout 3 will move down to the Nebula, and the Destroyer will go as an escort. I'll bring this miner down here to pick up 5 more minerals. And we'll send this miner over to K4. I should probably have this scout start exploring in this direction just in case we find any big mineral chits for this miner to pick up. Speaking of which, right. Speaking of which, let's start off with Scout 1. Which is over here and exploring deep space. So Scout 1 will find a black hole. Oh joy. So we have to roll to see if Scout 1 survives. If it does, it is definitely moving in this direction toward the home system. But we need to bring the dice tower back in shot. Remember, a 1 to 6 means it survives, 7 to 10 means it gets blown up. Or probably compressed in a black hole, if I'm remembering my astronomy correctly. That's a 3, so Scout 1 thankfully survives. Let's see, Scout 2 is also in deep space. I probably shouldn't go too far with that just yet. Let's see what Scout 2 manages to find. Scout 2 finds danger. Good grief. Although that's just the nature of the beast with space, I guess. So Scout 2 moves to the sheet, and then Scout 3 wasn't exploring. Well, the sheet I'm talking about, we'll tip over to that for just a quick second. So we'll turn the camera. Actually, I think we'll have to move the camera. This sheet was actually something I found on the Geek, at least for a basic game, where it gives you a space to organize all of your ships. I actually really like it, just because it's kind of a visual aid when you're setting up. Just make sure you pull these ships out for the game before you get started. So it's very helpful in that regard. Now coming back to the board, we'll probably have to zoom out just a touch. Yep, okay. So we're into turn 2 now. As I mentioned, Scout 3 is moving in this direction. Miner 1's going to move over toward Vortigern, just in case Scout 1 manages to find a big mineral chit. Speaking of minerals, we'll bring Miner 2 with another 5 home. Then Scout 3 and Destroyer 1 are going to move into this nebula, which thankfully doesn't affect us except for movement. Miner 2 brought the 5 home. Okay. So now we've got that straight. We haven't upgraded movement again yet, have we? Oh no, we haven't upgraded movement at all. I thought we... For some reason I thought we had. No, we haven't, but that might end up being next, actually. So Scout 1 exploring in deep space we'll find. More danger, joy. So that's 2 scouts I'm probably going to have to replace when we go to upgrade tech, or when we go to purchase units. That's a problem. And then Scout 3 isn't exploring anything. It will be this turn, though. I'll bring Scout 3 down to I-7 alone. Miner 1 will move down here. Miner 2 will go try to pick up some of these 5 mineral chits for... This is turn 3, by the way. Okay, so I don't think we're doing any exploration here. Oh, yes, we are. We have a home system chit we're exploring from Scout 3. Should only have 6 left in the bag. Okay, flat side down. We find Antares, so apparently we need another colony ship too. Although that's a forward colony, so that might be... That'll end up being a forward colony, but we can probably... Yeah, we can get a colony ship there to it in 1 round. But we're into the economic phase, so collecting colony income. We have 20, 30... 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus we brought in 15 minerals. So 40, 55. Minus maintenance costs of, I believe it's going to be 2 for the Destroyer. Yep, Destroyer and the Scout. So 2, no turn order bid. 53, so now we're into purchasing units and tech. So I will have to spend 12. I will have to spend 12 to bring my 2 scouts back. Then I actually will spend 20 for the aforementioned move. I thought I was spending for move earlier, but I was actually buying shipyards. So 20. Okay, so let's see. So that's 32 total that I've spent so far. I think I will buy... Oh, right, I need a colony ship as well. So I'll spend another 8 for that. So another 8 will bring me up to 20. That's 20 on ships. And do I want another destroyer right away? I think I do, actually. I want to try to start building up my attack fleet a little bit. So I need 9 for that. So that'll bring me up to 29. 29 on ships. That's a total of 49, which means I have 4 CP remaining. I increased maintenance by 3. All right, then we place units, which all go on Altair. And then we increase colonies. Fion will become a 5, if it ever wants to flip. Vortigern, Cerberus, and S and will all become 3s. Colonies are increased, and we're into turn 6, so we've got one more. So we've got one more free round before the Doomsday Machines start coming, and I'd like to have a little more than 2 destroyers and 3 scouts to try to take them on. So let's see what we can do about that. Alright, first things first, Miner 1 is going to retreat to Vortigern, since I can't really do any pickup on this side yet. Miner 2, however, will move over to J10 and pick up this 5 mineral chit. Scout 3 will continue exploring in the home system. Let's explore this way. Then I'll bring the scouts down here. We'll bring the destroyer here. Colony ship will move to L6. Are we doing any exploration? Yes, we are. We've got a home system chit in I6 that we're pulling out. Okay. Let's see what we're revealing from here. We find another 5 minerals, so if we can get a miner in that direction, which we've got miner 1 over here, we can probably get that picked up. These two are essentially gone from the game since we've already... Hold on. Okay. Wanted to make sure I got those in the right bags. Alright, so turn 2 now. We'll bring the miner over here. Then Scout 3 will move over here. Scout 2 will move down with the destroyer. And then we'll bring Scout 1 there. Destroyer will be here. I want to get my attack fleet mostly centralized so I can move basically to any location I need them to get to in a hurry. Where are we trying to get to? We're trying to get to Antares. So you want to move... Oh no! Okay, I was a derp. So I should have moved here, and then the colony ship would be here. So ignore the move I made to the colony ship up here. I was being very dumb on that. Then we've got another home system chit that we're pulling out for Scout 3. I believe it's the only one exploring anything right now. We've got 4 home system chits left in the bag. Another 5 minerals, which is perfect, so the miner can come down and grab that. We're not doing any more exploring, so turn 3. Miner 1 will come down and grab that. Scout 3 will move over here to explore deep space. And now we've got an option available to us where we can, now that we are moving at level 2, our ships can all move 2. So we'll send Scout 1 down here. Scout 2 will move down here for 2 of the last 3 home system chits. Colony ship will come down to Antares. And the destroyers, I'm kind of happy with where they're located right now. They're mostly centralized where they can get to anywhere the Doomsday Machines come out reasonably quickly, I would say. But, right, so now we need to pull out, now we need to do exploration. We've got two of the last 3 home system chits here. So Scout 1 will find. If it ever wants to focus. Right, I gotta bring it way in. Find another 5 minerals, which this miner can go grab after, assuming that it doesn't find a more tempting pickup up here when Scout 3 goes exploring. Scout 2 will explore. And find. Athos, which is another planet to colonize potentially. So now the question is going to become, do I want to have the colony ship stop at Antares, or do I want to have it colonize, or do I want to have it go to Athos? I think I declared the plan to stop at Antares, so I'm going to stick with that. It means I'm going to have one turn where a colony ship is going to be vulnerable to the Doomsday Machine, but no help for that. So Scout 3 now is exploring in deep space. It finds asteroids. Joy. Okay, so that's it for the exploration phase. That was turn 3, so now we're into the economic phase. Colony income, we're going to have a lot of colony income. So we've got 20, we've got 3 full-strength colonies for 15, plus another 9, so 35 and 9 is 44. We had 4 carryover, 44. We didn't collect any minerals this turn. We're not using pipelines, so we're at 48. Maintenance total should be 5. I don't think the shipyards incur. Nope, shipyards don't incur maintenance. So we've got, should have 1, 2, 3 scouts plus 2 destroyers for a total of 5. Which means we have 43 to spend. So with the Doomsday Machines coming, I kind of want to start getting ready for that. So, do I want to start building up the attack fleet a little more? Yeah, I probably should. The only problem is I don't want to commit them until I know where we need to go with them. But let's see. I'm going to have to buy I'm going to have to increase my shipyards to for 15. So 15 there. Which means I can't upgrade attack again. I could upgrade defense if I wanted to, which wouldn't be a terrible idea. Tactics wouldn't be a terrible idea to upgrade either, just so we're able to fire earlier in the round. I think we'll go, we're at 28 right now. I think we'll go 1 into defense. I think we'll go level 1 defense. So we're spending 35. Then we have 8 left over, which I don't think is going to let us build. It would let us build a colony ship, but I don't think I need it right now. So I'm actually going to sit tight on that, I think. So we're not going to buy any ships. We have 8 left. We didn't make any maintenance increases. And we get to carry over up to 30 CP. So we have 8 carryover heading into round 7 as we get ready for the first Doomsday Machine. So let's see what we can do to maybe develop a little bit more against that. Oh, before we do that, I forgot to increase colonies. So these 3 all turn into 5s, and Antares will turn into a 1. So now we'll have a lot more colony income coming in. But now we're into round 7. Now we need to start getting ready for the Doomsday Machines to come. So let's go into round 7. Miner 1 on this side of the board will bring 5 more minerals to Cerberus. Miner 2 is going to start working toward Fione with another 5 minerals. We'll send Scout 2 to grab the last home system chit. We'll send Scout 1 into deep space, and Scout 3 will move over to I3. So our last home system chit, which will empty the bag after this. Where is it? There you are. There's another 5 minerals. That was right here with the last homeworld system. We've got a deep space. Actually, the only bag we need now is the deep space exploration bag because the home system bag is now empty. This may be a point where we have to start abandoning the... This may be a point now where we have to start abandoning the scouts. So, Scout 1... finds another nebula. I was hoping to find more minerals there, but no help for that at this point. Turn 2. Let's have the scouts start to continue exploring deep space. We'll send Scout 1 here. Scout 3. This miner will bring the 5 minerals to Fion. And I'll send this miner out to get more minerals. So, Scout 1, right here in deep space, will find... Romulus, which is another barren world, but it's also out in the middle of nowhere. So we're not doing anything with that, most likely. Scout 2 over here we'll find... ten minerals, which we'll have to send a miner down to get, but that's going to be a long way to go. And then Scout 3 over here we'll find. A black hole. So Scout 3's got to roll for survival as well. And we might, like I said, we might be at a point here where it might be time to just abandon the scouts, go all in on getting the combat fleet put together. Let's see, Dice Tower is right there. Oh, that's a 1, so the Scout 3 survives. I don't want to go too far with the Dice Tower, even though we're probably not going to be having combat for a little while yet. Turn 3, now our ships can all move 2, except for the ones that can't. So Scout 3 will move here. I want to try to work on deep space a little bit more. Scout 2 will move over here. Miner will move here to start picking up some of these minerals way down here that we can bring up to Antares. Then the destroyers... Actually, Miner 1 will move to I6 and grab that 5 mineral chit. Scout 1 will move to F5. I think that's it. So Scout 1 right here in deep space. We'll find Warp Point 2. So if we find another Warp Point 2 chit in the bag, we can teleport between those. Let's see, Scout 2 is in deep space as well. It will find... another 10 minerals, which might take a while for a miner to get to. And then where is Scout 3? Oh, Scout 3 had to get out of the black hole. That's right. I don't think there's anything else for exploration, so now we're into the economic phase. Before we start the economic phase, however, we have our first Doomsday Machine coming out. So unfortunately the stats aren't printed. Unfortunately the stats for the Doomsday Machines aren't printed on the chits, but there's a reference that I can use. So this will have a strength of 1. So this will attack as a D7, so it'll attack priority D, needs a 7 or less. Defense strength of 1, so any of our hit ratings will get reduced by 1. We need to deal it 6 damage, and it will have 3 attacks. So let's bring the dice tower in shot and see where this is going to land. A 2, so it's going all the way up. So it's going up over here, which means that's where our defensive priority needs to be. So it's going to spawn there. Then the subsequent economic phase, it'll start moving closer and closer to my worlds until it tries to get to Altair. So with that in mind, colony income, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full strength colonies. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full strength colonies, 50, plus Antares is 1 for 51, plus 10 mineral CP, bring me up to a total of 69 CP, minus a maintenance cost of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No turn order bid. 64 CP is what I have to spend. So now that I know where combat's about to happen, ship size of 3 lets me build cruisers now. So I think now we're at a pretty safe point where we probably want to start building some forward. We want to start building up the attack fleet a little bit more. So with that in mind, bases. Okay, producing colony can build a base per turn. So I will build. So I'll spend 12 to buy a base. So we'll take a first look at our base. Attacks as an A, needs a 7 or less to hit, modified by defense. Has 2 defense and takes 3 hits. That's the hull size, but actually because we're at attack level of 1, it'll hit on an 8 or less. So we have 12 for a base. We can build a ship size of 3. So, and shipyards let us build, I believe shipyards let us build 1.5 points per hull size. So, yeah, I think I definitely want to build cruisers. So I'll spend another 12 to bring my first cruiser out. Which cruisers are a C unit, hit on a 4 or less, 1 defense, 2 hull size. So that brings me up to 24. All right, so again, I'm in purchase units and tech right now. 24, I have 40 left. I'm actually going to put another level into attack. So 30 tech, 24. And I think that's probably where we'll leave it. So we have 10 CP left, which will carry over into round 8. And I increased maintenance by 5. So I'm going to have a lot of maintenance in my next turn. So we'll put the base up here on Omicron because this first Doomsday Machine is going to be heading for Altair. And then we'll put the cruiser up on Altair. And then we increase colonies, so this will flip into a 3. I could have bought a colony ship, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So now we're into round 8, and we're going to have combat with this colony ship before too much longer, or with this Doomsday Machine before too much longer. So let's go ahead and get into round 8. We'll bring 5 minerals into Antares from Miner 1. These are gone, by the way. Miner 2 will go pick up 5 minerals as well. Scout 2 will continue exploring deep space. These 2 destroyers, yeah, these are destroyers, are going to start moving up toward Omicron, where we're probably going to set up defense shop. I'll bring the cruiser in that direction as well. I'd rather not try to meet that Doomsday Machine head on. I'd rather let it come to us. Because even though Vortigern is equidistant from the Doomsday Machine right now, moving toward Omicron brings it closer to the home world, so that's where it's going to move. Then Scout 1 is going to move up to G5. We'll continue exploring deep space. Scout 3 will move down to the nebula. Alright, so exploration phase, Scout 1 finds another nebula. Again, there's a lot more dangerous space, there's a lot more dangerous chits that could have come out of the deep space bag. Scout 2 hopefully will not find one of them, but again, we might be at a point where we're okay with getting the scouts blown up. Alright, Scout 2 will find Warp Point 2. So that's actually a good spot for the Warp Point to have landed, which means now these 2 spaces are considered adjacent to each other, so we definitely need to keep that in mind. But before we go into turn 2 of round 8, I need to change my battery. We're at least 3 turns away from our showdown with the first Doomsday Machine at Omicron, but we're definitely going to do some more setup in the meantime. So, we'll continue exploring a little bit. The Scout will move to F6. We'll bring Scout 1 will move to F6. Scout 3 will move. We're still on move level 2, right. So Scout 3 will move to H6. Scout 2 will actually move to I-11. Miner 1 will go pick up the minerals at H8. Miner 2 will bring 5 minerals home to Antares with the colony there. That should be all of our Scout moves. Yep, so Scout 1 is exploring right here, right by the 5-6 Doomsday Machine spawn point, so we find another 10 minerals, which, well, we might be able to get to that, but it's going to take a little bit of doing. Put that back in the bag. As for Scout 2 over at, I believe that's I-11. Yeah, that's I-11, so it will find another 10 minerals. So there are definitely a lot of minerals out for the taking if we can get to them. But that's the trick, is getting to them. Turn 3, Miner 1 will bring more minerals home. Miner 2 will move over to I-8, going for this 10 mineral chit. Then we'll move the attack fleet that we have so far to Omicron, bringing the cruiser there as well. Scout 1 will move up to G6. Scout 2 will move to J12. Scout 3 can move 2, so it'll move to G7 to continue exploring in deep space. Scout 1 right here in G6 will find. Warp point 1, so similar to warp point 2, I'm hoping we find it somewhere in the vicinity of what Scout 2 is exploring, so let's go there next. Let's see what Scout 2 finds. Warp point 2, hey, look at that. So we've got another connection point for warp point 2. That seems a little weird, but okay, so laser pointer. So now I have 3 spaces connected by warp point 2, which might actually be even better. So this space, and this space are all connected by warp point 2. Let's see what Scout 3 is doing, or what Scout 3 is finding. Right, Scout 3 is finding a space wreck. So if we can get a miner over there, that might not be that huge an ask because we've got miner 1 right here. Space wreck, I believe, gives us something for free. A free technology upgrade during the economic phase. Ooh. Oh, we have to roll a die and consult the space wreck table on the back page. Okay. Well, that's still not terrible then. But yeah, we can definitely get a miner over there, assuming the next Doomsday machine doesn't spawn here. Actually, we should be able to get that space wreck out before if a Doomsday machine spawns here, we should be able to get that out before anything comes through. So that was all of our exploration, colony income, and we've got a lot of colony income coming in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where did I think we had? Oh, we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fully developed colonies for 30. Plus 20 is 50. Plus 3 is 53. Plus we brought in 15 CP worth of minerals, which brings me up to 78. My maintenance costs are going to be quite high, though, because I've got a base 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, so 10 is my maintenance. Total of 68 to spend with. I didn't forget to move the Doomsday machine, so never mind that. Okay, so what do I want here? I don't think I'm too worried about trying to colonize Athos. In fact, I'm not sure I want a forward colony anyway, especially if a Doomsday machine spawns right here. Let me think. It might just be continuing to build my attack fleet, actually. So I'm at a ship size of what? I'm at a ship size of 3 right now, so I could still build more cruisers. I think I actually want to develop my ship size and my ship yards a little bit more so I can build some of the bigger firepower because I know I'm going to need that later. So I'm going to spend 25 to get up to max strength on shipyards and another 20 to get up to maximum strength, or to get up to level 4 on ship size. So now I can build up to... So now I can start building battle cruisers, which I'll probably need as the Doomsday machines get stronger and stronger. That leaves me 23 to spend on ships. So that leaves me 23 to spend elsewhere, not necessarily on ships. So I think I will spend 15 on tactics, which brings me up to 60 that I've spent. Yeah, 60 that I've spent on tech. And I won't do anything for ships yet, because I still have some time on that front, and my colonies are generating a lot anyway. So no change on that. I didn't buy any units, but I do increase colonies. So this 3 becomes another 5, and that'll continue with my income generation. Anyway, we're into round 9 now. We'll have another Doomsday Machine coming next turn, so we'll need to keep an eye on that. But let's get into turn 9 first. Okay, so I want to try to get, so with my 2 miners this turn, here's my laser pointer. I want to have 1 grab this 10 mineral chit. I think we can grab I think if we send miner 2 to grab it, 1 to grab it, 2, 3. Yeah, we can get the 10 mineral chit back, but we can't get the space wreck back. But we'll go ahead and start moving in that direction. So miner 2 will grab that. Miner 1 will move here, going for the space wreck. Then we'll bring Scout 2 up here to K11 to continue exploring. Scout 3 will move over here. Scout 1 really doesn't have much to do right now, so it will continue to help Scout 3 exploring deep space. As for other move, I think we're fine for the time being. So let's go ahead and explore. So Scout 2 exploring up here at K11 we'll find. So this is what Scout 2 is exploring into. Another black hole. So I'll grab that cube off. Let's see if we're able to finish with the exploration on Scout 2. I'm hoping so. Remember, we need a 1 to 6, though, to be able to finish that. Right there. That's a 9, so Scout 2 is destroyed, but I might be okay with that at this point. We'll leave the dice tower in shot right now, just in case Scout 3 pulls something else I need to draw for. So Scout 3 is exploring down here. We find so this is what Scout 3 is exploring into. Finds danger, so it gets destroyed, but again, I'm not completely heartbroken about that because I think we're getting to a point now where most everything's been explored, so now I'm probably just all in on combat at this point. Let's see, then Scout 1 wasn't exploring anything yet. Turn 2, we'll bring Scout 1 down here. Miner 2 will bring that 10 mineral chit in. Miner 1 will pick up that space wreck, maybe towed to a colony. Okay, good. So I can get it to a colony. Let's see, then the attack fleet on Omicron is good there. So Scout 1 is doing its exploration. Let's see what Scout 1 finds. Lost in space, so it's got to move. Immediately shifts it 1 hex in any direction. Lost in space is removed and the hex remains empty. So we'll actually move it to this hex. And then it will explore again because it's in an unexplored hex. I believe that's how it works. Because this is still moving during the exploration phase. All right, so we'll see what we find in, I believe that's F9. Another black hole. So we've got to see if our last scout survives. And like I said, if it doesn't, I may just leave these two last unexplored deep space tokens for... I may just leave those and focus all on combat. That's a 10, so that scout is destroyed. Alright, turn 3, I think we're probably just going to end up blowing through... no, actually, we're not going to blow through it. These 3 should have been gone. These 3 15s should have been gone. We're not going to blow through turn 3 because we need to at least keep the miners moving. So we'll bring this 10 mineral chit to Antares, and the space wreck will move closer, we'll move up to H8. So that's it for turn 3, very uneventful, no exploration happening. Colony phase, well, economic phase will start with the first Doomsday Machine moving, and then we're spawning the second Doomsday Machine. Let's see where it's going. Bring the dice tower into shot. Where's the lid for the cup? Here you are. So the second Doomsday Machine is spawning right here, which means we probably need to get a base forward to Cerberus or Vortigern. The second Doomsday Machine is coming in with a strength of 3, so it attacks as a C8, defense strength of 2, takes 7 attacks, it takes 7 hits, and gets 4 attacks. So yeah, we're going to need... That one's going to hit a planet a lot sooner. It's going to be moving toward Cerberus. So colony income... Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4... I think all of our colonies are at full strength right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 35 plus 20 is 55 from colonies. Plus we brought 10 CP in. So that's going to be a total of 73 minus maintenance cost of 1, 2, 5, 7... Yeah, 7, because all our scouts got destroyed. So 7, which brings me to a total of 66 to spend on, or 66 CP to spend. So I think I will spend 12 of that to build another base. I want to get another forward base at Cerberus. So 12... And now I'm at a ship size of 4, so I can build up to... battle cruisers, and 15... Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and build a couple battle cruisers as well. So that'll be another 30. So that'll bring me up to 42. That's 42 on ships, and I've got 24 left to spend, which I think we'll put that into... I think we'll put 20 into ship size. So now I can start building the big boys, but those are also going to have heavy costs on maintenance. So 62, 4, and we are increasing maintenance by another 7. So I do need to be aware of that. Okay, so the base will go to Cerberus, and the battle cruisers will go up to Altair. So again, I'm kind of blowing through that. Increased colonies, but I think everything right now is at full strength. So we're going to be quite busy in... We have 4 CP carryover, so... We are into round 10 next, and yeah, things are starting to get very interesting in a hurry, so let's move down into round 10. Alright, first things first, we'll get the miners moving. I'll send this miner over toward I-8, try to go for some of these 10 mineral chits. We'll bring the space wreck into Antares. Then the battle cruisers will move... where do I think things are going to start happening first? Let's get the battle cruisers... Actually, I think Cerberus is going to need more help. So we'll go ahead and start moving in that direction. We'll go ahead and move the battle cruisers in that direction. I'm hoping the last battle, the last Doomsday Machine, lands over on this side of the board. That way I can bring my whole fleet to bear against it, and I'm probably going to need to. All right, so that's it for turn 1. The space wreck, I believe that comes in during the economic phase, so we'll move that down here as well. That 10 can leave the game. Yes, it can. That was a deep space chit. That goes in the deep space bag. Let's see then. So we're into turn 2 now of round, this is round 10. The battle cruisers will move down into the asteroids. Yep, we're getting ready to defend Cerberus. Okay, and then okay, the miners will also move. We'll send that one to I6, this one to I9, so we can again go grab the 10 mineral chits. And I think we're good there. We have no exploration happening here. So turn 3, we'll bring the battle cruisers over to Cerberus. This miner will grab the 10 minerals. This one will move down here and grab the 5. Then that will do it for turn 3. Colony phase, Doomsday Machines move. We're getting ready for quite the fun in games here. Let's see, then we collect colony income, which should be another 55, I think. 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, another 55. We don't have any mineral CPs, but we do have a space wreck that we get to upgrade. So we get a free technology upgrade, which means we'll be rolling on. Come on. We'll be rolling on this space wreck technology table. 1 to 2 gives us ship size, 3 to 4 attack, 5 to 6 defense, 7 tactics, 8 to 9 move, 10 shipyard. So let's see what we get to upgrade for free. Any of those would be useful. That is a 7, which gives us a free tactics upgrade. So that'll help us in priority when we're figuring out attack order. Right, we're not using pipelines, so we're up to 59. Maintenance cost total is going to be quite high. 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Which gives us 45 to buy with. So what do we want for 45? I think. And we can build ship size of. We can build up to 5 ship size. So I think we'll spend 20 for a battleship. What's our next level of move? 25? That would clean us out, but I think that's probably worthwhile. So we can move 2 cubes, so we can move 2 hexes in each of our second 2 turns. We'll buy a battleship as well, which, as you see, battleships are no laughing matter, but they're also quite expensive. So we'll be boosting our. That was in deep space, yes, okay. So they will be increasing our maintenance by 3. So 25, 20, I have no carryover. 3 maintenance increase. Then the battleship will go up to Altair, our homeworld. So I blew through everything. We don't have any colonies to increase. We're going to be on round 11, which will bring our 3rd Doomsday Machine out, but we also are going to be hopefully destroying at least 1 this turn. So let's find out and see what happens. This turn, I think we're mostly just setting up and waiting for combat to happen. So we'll bring the. Yeah, we can get the 10 minerals up to Fione, so we'll send the miner. We'll send miner 2 with that there. Miner 1 will bring the 5 minerals closer to Antares. Then this battleship will move down to the nebula. We'll plan on bringing the battleship down to Cerberus to have it help defend there. Let's see, that was it for turn 1. Turn 2, the battleship can now move 2 spaces because we upgraded our move technology. So we're at 1, 2, and the battleship will now help defend Cerberus. The minerals will move up to K9, and Miner 1 will bring 5 more into Antares. So that was a very uneventful turn 2. Turn 3, we'll just send the miners out again, except this one will actually bring 10 minerals into Phione. So an uneventful turn. Then moving over to the economic phase, Doomsday Machine 1 moves to Omicron, Doomsday 2 Machine moves to Cerberus, and now we're going to have some fun in game. So that's where the yellow cube comes into play. We're going to move to a slightly different shot to get ready for combat. The first Doomsday Machine is actually firing last in this round, so the base... We have attack up to 2, so it would hit on a 9, except the Doomsday Machine reduces it by 1, so the base hits on an 8 or less with 1 attack. That's an 8, so it deals 1 damage to the Doomsday Machine. Remember, we need 6 hits to take it out, so that's 1 damage to the Doomsday Machine. Cruisers hit on a... Because of technology and defense, cruisers hit on a 5 or less. That's a 7, so no dice there. Destroyers also hit on a 5 or less. And we've got 2 of those. That's a 9, so nothing doing there. Another destroyer. Eight, so nothing doing there. The Doomsday Machine gets 3 attacks, and it hits on a... It can hit on a 7. Because of defense, we reduce that by 1, so 6 or less. Depending on defense, the... Actually, do we have... Okay, we have defense 1, so the base would reduce it by 2, or by 3, 2, 1, 1. So we need a... So let's roll... Let's just roll and we'll figure out what gets hit from there. Right, 2 and 2 7s. So it attacks on a 7 or less, which means it's dealing out, I think, 3 hits. The question is, what does it hit? Actually, I don't think it deals out any hits. Because I'm trying to think this through. So it hits on a 7 or less. Defense means this would need a 5 to get hit. Actually, this would need a 4 to get hit. This would need a 5, 6, 6. So actually, I think it only deals 1 hit and takes out Destroyer 2, which might not be all that unwelcome. All right, so back to the base. It once again needs an 8 or less to deal. It once again needs an 8 or less to deal a hit. That's a 9, nothing doing. 5 or less for the cruiser. Nope. 5 or less for the destroyer. Nope. 3 attacks for the Doomsday Machine. Nine, 4, 2. All right, so the 9's definitely not a hit. I think we take out the destroyer and do 1 damage to the cruiser, this is bad. We can now bring everything in a little closer. The base hits on an 8 or less. Cruiser hits on a 5 or less. All right, so that's another hit on the Doomsday Machine from the Cruiser. Doomsday Machine, 7. It would need a 5 to hit the base. And, okay, I think this is starting to make a little more sense. So it would need a 5 or less to hit the base, and a 6 or less to hit the Cruiser. Well, actually, that's base modified by defense. So essentially, that's a 3, which means it would need a 4 or less to hit the base, and a 5 or less to hit the Cruiser. All right, so 10, 7, and a 1. So it'll take out the Cruiser, which means all we've got left defending it there is the base. Base hits on an 8 or less, because we're netting +1 to the attack from attack upgrade minus the defense on the Doomsday Machine. That's a 5, so we deal another hit to the Doomsday Machine. Need an 8, what did we establish? We need 7, 4 or less to hit the base. So that's 1 hit on the base, which is a problem. 8 or less to hit the Doomsday Machine again. That's another hit on the Doomsday Machine. Then we need 4 or less to hit the base. So hopefully we roll high on black dice, low on red. 8, 9, 6, so nothing doing there. Another attack on the base. So we need a 5, so once again, we need an 8 or less to hit the Doomsday Machine. That's a 6, so that's another hit on the Doomsday Machine. Hopefully our heroic base will take it out, but it can only take one more hit before it gets destroyed. And that hit would be a 4 or less. 2 4s will take out the base. So the base is destroyed, which means the colony is also going by the wayside as well, which is unfortunate and very, very bad. So it takes all of that out. Means that'll turn into a colony ship. Omicron's now gone. Colony ship goes back to the stack. The Doomsday Machine does heal 2 damage, so it still has 3 damage on it. But that is very bad for us. So that Doomsday Machine's carrying 3 damage on it. And that's only 2 away from Altair, so that's a big problem. But we need to set up for our other battle on Cerberus. Doomsday Machine 2 is stronger, so it attacks as it has an attack strength of C8, so it'll actually still be firing last in this round of combat. A defense strength of 2, which will cancel out our attack upgrades, so everything will just be straight rolls. All right, the base needs a 7 or less to hit. And I believe our defense strength... Okay, never mind. We'll worry about that later. So the base hits on a 7 or less. That's a 6, so we 1 hit on the Doomsday Machine, and it has an attack... It has a hull size of 7. Battleships hit on a 5 or less. That's an 8, nothing doing. Battle cruisers also hit on a 5 or less. That's a 2, so that's another hit on the Doomsday Machine. Another battle cruiser. Eight, nothing doing. This Doomsday Machine has, I believe, 4 attacks for Doomsday Machine 2, right? Yes. 4 attacks, and it hits on 8 or less modified by defense. So, alright, so that's going to be 5, 5, 6, 6. So let's see what we roll. Alright, so we've got 2 hits, which will be enough to take out one of these battle cruisers. Okay, back to the base, which hits again on a 7 or less. That's a 7, so that's another hit on the second Doomsday Machine. Hits on a 5 or less. That's a 1, so that's another hit on the Doomsday Machine. Another 5 or less. That's a 10, so no dice, so no luck there. 4 more attacks for this second Doomsday Machine. Once again, we need... did we calculate that right? It's a C8, modified by defense, so 5, 5, 6. Okay, so 5, 5, 6. I think the only ship that got hit by a 6 was the battle cruiser. So that one will take a hit. Then we're back to the base, which hits on a 7 or less. I'm doing all of the canceling out of defense and attack kind of in my head, essentially. So hits on a 7 or less. That's an 8. Hits on a 5 or less. The battleship I'm into now. 4 is another hit on the Doomsday Machine. Another 5 or less. That's a 10, so no hit there. 5, 5, 6 once again, 4 attacks. Let's see, oh boy. Okay, so... Alright, so 5, 5, 6 is what we determined. There's one... We'll use the 6 in there to take out this battle cruiser. And then the other 3 hits will take out this battleship. Which means now we've got a base standing against the last Doomsday Machine once again. Thankfully, the Doomsday Machine hasn't been rolling well to hit the base. We need the base to kind of be a hero here on Cerberus. So it hits on a 7 or less. That's a 1, so as long as it survives, we have a chance to take it out. It's going to hit on a 5 or less. Is the Doomsday Machine. One hit on the base, but we still have a chance here. Actually, we've been doing the damage up there, so we need a 7 or less, and the base holds on Cerberus. And maybe we can try to recover this. That's a 10, so nothing doing. 5 or less to take out the base and end up losing another colony. We got 2 hits in there, so the base has been taken out, which means it will heal. Which means the Doomsday Machine will heal 2 damage, and we are in a very bad situation. So let's move back up. Let's move back up to the map. Cerberus and Omicron are both flattened, and we're in a very dangerous situation right now. We've got the Doomsday Machine 1, 2 hexes away from us, but Doomsday Machine 2, 3 away. But we've also got Doomsday Machine 3 coming out. So now I think we need to just go all in on defending Altair. 2 brings Doomsday Machine 3 out where 1 started moving. Delightful. Okay, so colony CPs 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 45. We brought in 15 minerals, of CP. We've brought in 15 CP of minerals. Bringing us up to 60. I'm pretty sure we have El Goose Eggo of maintenance costs. We do, because everything we had just got flattened. Which means we have 60 to buy with. So I don't want to give up on Essen. The question is, are both of those Doomsday Machines going to converge on Essen? And I think the answer is yes. So I'd better build another base there. And then do I just go all in on, and then do I just start building as big a ships as I can? Or do I just, this is bad. Because I'm going to have both Doomsday Machines coming in. Which means I'm going to need to, unless I go forward to meet them, which is actually not unless I go forward to meet one of them, which is not a terrible idea at all. So yeah, I think it's probably going to end up just being 2 battleships as well. So we'll spend another 40, 52... Okay, 52 on technology, Phoenix. Or 52 on ships. 8. And we're increasing maintenance by... We're increasing maintenance by 9. But considering we had 0 maintenance to pay this turn because everything got flattened, I don't think there's any worry about that. We'll put the base forward on Essen and bring the battleships to Altair. And then we increase colonies, but we don't have any colonies to increase. So we're into round 12 now, and we're actually in a very bad position. So let's see if we can somehow salvage this mess. I'm going to take a calculated risk here. If I can bring these battleships to destroy this Doomsday Machine, I can then bring them down to help defend Essen. But it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a calculated gamble on that front. So, during turn 1, these 2 battleships will move over here. Miner will move... I guess we'll send the miners out to try to get more CP, because we're going to need that. Okay, that's it for turn 1. Turn 2, we'll keep the miners moving. We'll do that and that. And then we'll bring the battleships over to the first Doomsday Machine, and we'll move back down to combat. Doomsday Machine 1 had 4 damage on it from the last time it was in combat, so we need to inflict 2 hits to destroy it. Once again, we're at attack level 2. It's got a defense strength of 1, so both of our battleships are going to hit on a 6 or less. Come on, guys, we need this badly. That's a 2 for another hit. Let's see if we can flatten this Doomsday Machine right here. That would make my life so much easier. That's another 2. So Doomsday Machine 1 has actually been taken out, and we've managed to recover a little bit from the unmitigated disasters of last turn. So let's move back up to the map. Turn 3, we do have an option. I think this Doomsday Machine had 4 damage on it. Doomsday Machine 2, I believe, needs 7 hits. Yes, 7 hits to get destroyed, and it's heading for Essen this turn. So I think we'll just move the battleships down here to try to help out with taking out Doomsday Machine 2. So that will do it for that. Now we're into the economic phase. Doomsday Machine 3 is actually heading for Vortigern. Gath gets destroyed, but there's nothing... That wasn't a colony. That would technically heal Doomsday Machine 3, which has a strength of 5, I believe. Yes, so it hits on it's a B9 with 2 hits, or with 2 defense strength, hull size of 8, and 5 attacks. Doomsday Machine 2 is moving into the aforementioned Essen battle. So let's come right back down to the combat map. Let's see if we can have our reckoning with Doomsday Machine 2 go as smoothly as 1 did. Base 1 will hit on a 7 or less. That's a 4, so we need 3 more hits to take this one out. Battleships hit on a 5 or less. That's a 2, so that's 1 more hit. And we need 1 more to take it out. So come on, Battleship 1, let's be the hero. That's a 10, so nothing doing there. 4 attacks for Battleship 2, or for Doomsday Machine 2, I believe. Yeah, 4 attacks. It's on a C8, modified by defense. So defense level 1. Everything hits on a 5. Alright, so we've got 2 hits which will deal to the base, since that's the strongest unit. Speaking of the base, it will hits on a 7 or less to take out Doomsday Machine 2. That's a 6, so we take out Doomsday Machine 2, which means the base will automatically heal. So all that damage comes off. Up. As I send 1 damaged ship flying. So now let's move back up to the map. Alright, that yellow cube can come off the board, and that makes I'd say that makes our next couple of turns pretty clear. Prepare for all-out war on Vortigern. So we go through colony income. Let's see, losing those 2 colonies hurt us, but probably not too bad. 5, 10, 15, 25. And 20 is 45, once again. We didn't bring in any minerals. We have maintenance of 9. I think we're going to be adding I think we're probably just going completely all out here. 36, and I want to buy as big a ships as I can, so I think it's going to be... I do want a base for sure, because I want to put a base on Vortigern. We saw how instrumental the base was in taking out that second Doomsday Machine. So 12 for the base, and I've got 24 more to buy with. I can't buy a Dreadnought because I don't have enough shipyard. I don't have enough ship size to build a Dreadnought, which would be... Let's see, do I have 1 more turn where I can wait on... Actually, the better question is, do I have 1 more turn where I even have time to care, particularly? And I think the answer to that is no. So I think we're just going to buy... another battleship for 20 more. So 32. So 32 on ships. 4 will have increased... So yeah, that was... What did we decide? We bought a base. The base was 12. Another battleship is 20. Right. All right, so we have additional maintenance cost of 6 with 4 CP. So both of those. So the base will go to Vortigern, and the battleship will go to Altair. And like I said, I think we're just getting ready at this point for all-out war on Vortigern. So the turns are going to start moving. The turns are probably going to start moving a lot faster at this point. So we're into round 13 now, and let's see what we're doing. I think right now we're setting up for the aforementioned war on Vortigern. So the battleships will move to K4. Battleship 3 will move to L6 for an uneventful turn 1. Miner 1 will move there, pick up the 10 mineral chit. This other miner will move to the asteroids, I guess, because there's really nothing for him to do right now. Turn 2, battleships will move into Vortigern. This battleship will move 2 and moving toward Vortigern. This miner will move here. Miner 2 will move here. There's really nothing for him to do right now. So yeah, we'll just move him there. Then for turn 3, this battleship will join the others at Vortigern. That miner will move there. This one will move here. So we're into another economic phase. Doomsday Machine 1 will move here. Right now it's going for a colony rather than the home world. All right, speaking of colonies, we have colony income, which is another 45. There's a 5 colony buried in there. So you got 45. Minus maintenance costs of 15 actually, because we've still had a base on Essen. We've got 30 to buy with, and I think right now, like I said, it's just as much firepower as I can get my hands on. So I think here we want. So with 30 to buy, do we just go for? The destroyers aren't going to do much because that's attacking as a B9. That last Doomsday Machine's attacking as a B9. So I definitely want ships that can fire earlier in the sequence. We have what, 30? We have 30 to buy with. So I think it's 2 battle cruisers, honestly. Mainly because, like I said, I want as much firepower as I can get my hands on at this point, and I've already placed them on Altair. So 30, 0, and we increased maintenance costs by 4. So we have no carryover for turn 14, but this could very well end up being it. So let's move in to round 14. At this point, we're mostly just getting ready for war. So Miner 1 will bring 10 minerals up toward Thione. Miner 2 will move down to Athos. And then the battle cruisers will move to L6. They're going to be joining the fray over at what is that? That's Vortigern. Okay. So that was turn 1, very uneventful. Turn 2, we'll bring the 10 minerals in. This miner will move to warp point 1, going for the 10 minerals down here. These 2 battle cruisers will move 1, 2 to K4. Then turn 3, miner 2 will pick up the 10 minerals. Battle cruisers will join the party at Vortigern. Miner 1 will go out. Where does it even want to go at this point? Honestly, I think it just wants to kind of stay away from the action. That'll be it for that. So back into the economic phase. Doomsday Machine 3 is going to move into the party at Vortigern, and yeah, let's go with a fight, shall we? Our saving grace here is because of tactics, the Doomsday Machine actually fires last this round. So still a defense strength of 2, which cancels out our attack, so the base hits on. And we need, what, 8 hits to take it out? Yes, 8 hits to take it out. So the base hits on a 7 or less. That's a 4, so that's the first hit on the last Doomsday Machine. Battleships will hit on a 5 or less. Technically, let's do these in Battleship 1, 2, 3 order. Alright, so once again, everything else is going to hit on a 5 or less, so Battleship 1. We'll get a 1, so that's another hit. Battleship 2, or that's, yeah, Battleship 2. Also deals a hit. Battleship 3. Does not deal a hit. Battlecruiser 1 also hits on a 5 or less. That's a 4, so that's another damage. Battlecruiser 1 hits, or Battlecruiser 2, also a 5 or less. That's a 10, so nothing doing there. Doomsday Machine 3 gets 5 attacks, hits on 9 or less modified by defense, so 5 attacks. Modified by defense, which is only 1, so I thought it was, oh, plus 1 on these. Okay, so that's, so 2, actually, that's a 9, so minus 3, so 7, 7, 6, 6, so 7's on the cruisers, 6 is on everything else. Actually, let me do this just to help me remember. 7 on those, 6, actually, we'll do it, where do I want to put that? That'll work. That way I still have enough room for, actually, let's bring those down just a little bit. I want to make sure I still have room for that battle token so I know where we're at. That's what they need to roll or below to hit. Okay, so 9s don't do anything. 7s, actually, wait a minute. Do I have that backwards? I think I might have that backwards, actually. I think we need 7 or less to hit there. 9, yeah, I think I have that. Wait a minute, hang on. Have I been doing this wrong the whole game? I think I've been doing this wrong the whole game. It needs to roll a 9 or less. No. No, I think I've been doing this right, so... No, I think I have the numbers right there, so it would be easier to hit these and harder to hit these. So it hits on a... Okay, so it hits on a 9, reduced by defense, so 2 there would be 7, 3 would be 6. Okay, now that I've got that straight, I think. The 9's a miss. The 7s will take out one of these battle cruisers. Then a 3 will deal 2 damage to the base, because that's probably the strongest unit out of the bunch. So now I think I've got that straight finally. So 7 there, 6s for everything else. All right, so we're back to the base now. It hits on a 7 or less. We need 4 more hits to take out this Doomsday Machine. That's a 1, so that's 1 of the hits we need. Hits on a 5 or less. That's a 3, so that flips over. Still a 5 or less. That's an 8, so nothing doing there. 5 or less. That's a 1, so that's a 7. Let's see if Battlecruiser 1 can be the hero here. 5 or less. That's a 10, so nothing doing there. 5 attacks for the Doomsday Machine. The Doomsday Machine is very much in a bad way, though, which I am not sorry about in the least. Alright, so the 9 doesn't do anything. We've got 4 hits in there. 1 of which will take out the base. Right. Oh, no. Actually, oh yeah, we do have a 2 in there. So 1 hit will take out the base. Then a 5 will deal a hit to Battleship 1, which I can just use that for. Then a 7 will take out another battle cruiser. All right, let's see if Battleship 1 can be our hero today. So hits on a 5 or less. That's a 9. Now we've got more battleships. Actually, I think we've got all battleships now. That's a 7, which is not enough. Come on, I need 1 more hit, guys. A 3 will work. So that destroys the last Doomsday Machine at a hull size of 8. So Doomsday Machine 3 has been destroyed. And with the last Doomsday Machine being taken out, we have won this game of Space Empires. So I'll get all that out of shot. Let's move back up top for the after action report. I had a lot of fun with this game. I know I've talked in the past about kind of my feelings about operational versus tactical games. This one I feel like strikes the right balance for me between there's enough operational stuff in there where like you're managing your entire fleet and all that fun. You're managing your entire fleet. You got to figure out your upgrades, how your technology is going to progress, all of that. But there's also enough tactical aspects of, okay, what am I doing with the scouts, and how do I set up to go after the Doomsday Machines? Do I let them come to me, or do I try to meet them forward? So there's enough there, I think, to really kind of scratch the itch for you in terms of the balance between the operational and the tactical aspects in this game. But that is Space Empires 4X, and I do enjoy this game. This game needs to get on the table more, but it is such a time sink for its size. Like I said, I really enjoy it. I know some people do knock the bookkeeping in this one, but I really don't mind it too much. I actually do more bookkeeping when I'm playing the Hunters than I do with this game. Let's wrap this video up, though. Busy week coming up on the channel. I'm off for the 4th of July on Tuesday, so that looks like a good day to start the Greatest Boxer Tournament with at least one bout. Before that, though, I'm planning to reveal the brackets later this afternoon. Wednesday we're playing Twilight Inscription, and next week we're back to the Star Wars universe as we play Star Wars Outer Rim. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.